Vanakkam Chennai. We are back with Chennai Poll Canvas, your favorite show this poll season. I'm Ramya Kannan, and in the studio today with me is Serena.
Hi.
Shall we do a constituency that you're very familiar with,
Yes,
Serena?
absolutely. Let's look at Royapuram constituency. So Royapuram is the starting point of North Chennai, and it is one of the oldest neighborhoods in North Chennai as well.
Yeah, we will take a look at Royapuram, and as we progress, we look at the political lay of the land and we look at the civic issues. But let's start by going to the constituency. Let's see what is on the field in Royapuram.
Royapuram, one of Chennai's oldest coastal constituencies, stands as the intersection of heritage, livelihood, and survival. From bustling fishing harbours to dense residential pockets, this constituency is deeply rooted in a community that depends heavily on the sea.
பிரதான சாலையெல்லாம் இருக்குது. எல்லாத்தையுமே நான் வந்த பிறகு நிறைய தார் ரோடு போட்டிருக்கோம். அதேமாதிரி சின்ன சின்ன சந்துகள் நிறைய இருக்குது. அங்கெல்லாம் ஐஎல்பி ரோடு போட்டு கொடுத்துருக்கோம். அது இல்லாமல் 2 பம்பிங் ஸ்டேஷனு கட்டியிருக்கோம். அதில் ஹெல்த் போஸ்ட்டு கட்டியிருக்கோம். என்னோடய ஃபண்ட்ஸ் குறிப்பாக கவுன்சிலர் ஃபண்டில் ஒரு சமுதாய நலக்கூடம் கட்டியிருக்கோம். ரொம்ப ஏழ்மையான மக்களுக்கு ஒரு 2000 ரூபாய் அளவில் ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷன் பண்ணோன்னா வெறும் 2000 ரூபாய் இருந்தால் போதும், ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷன் பண்ணலாம். அது மாதிரி ஒரு சமுதாய நலக்கூடம் கட்டியிருக்கோம்.
For many families here, fishing is not just an occupation, it is a way of life. But along its rich legacy, Royapuram faces pressing challenges. Livelihood security remains a major concern, with fishermen often dealing with unpredictable incomes, rising costs, and limited infrastructure support. Affordable housing is another key issue. Many residents continue to live in congested conditions, with demands growing for better housing facilities and redevelopment of aging settlements.
இங்கே எதிர்க்க இருக்கிறது தான் மிலிட்ரி கேம்புக்கு ஓரம் இருக்கிறது தான் மிலிட்ரி கேம்ப். இது மிலிட்ரி கேம்ப் இது கிடையாது. என்ஓசிலாம் இங்கே தேவை கிடையாது. இது கார்பரேஷன் 61 வீடு இருக்குது. இந்த வீட்டுக்கு பட்டா கொடுக்குறேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு தான் எலெக்ஷனில் இதை கேட்டாங்க. எம்எல்ஏ இது பண்ணாங்க. இப்போ எல்லாம் இது முடிஞ்சதுன்னாங்க. ஆனால் இது வரைக்கும் எதுவும் கைக்கு எதுவும் வரல.
Basic civic infrastructure also needs attention. From sanitation concerns to drainage issues and access to essential services, residents say everyday life is still a struggle in several pockets.
நீ மட்டத்தில் சொல்ல நீ போடுறியா ரோடு, நான் போடுறியா ரோடு, நீ செய்றியா வேலை, நான் செய்றியா வேலை, அப்படிதான் ஓடி கிடக்குது. இறங்கி வேலை செய்ய மாட்டேன்றாங்க. எல்லாம் ஒரே கட்சிக்காரங்க. இறங்கி வேலை செஞ்சால் மக்கள் நல்லா இருக்குங்க. பொதுமக்களுக்கு எந்த இடைஞ்சல் இல்லாமல் ரோடுங்க நல்லா இருக்கும், தண்ணி வசதி நல்லா இருக்கும், மக்களுங்களுக்கு எந்த தொல்லை இல்லாமல் நல்லா இருக்கும். ரேஷனில் கொஞ்சம் ரேஷன் பொருள்கள் கொஞ்சம் போட்டால் கொஞ்சம் நல்லா இருக்கும். அங்கே 20-25 ரேஷன் பொருளுங்க போடுறாங்க. 25 முடிஞ்சவங்க 28க்குள்ளே க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிடுறாங்க. அந்த பொருளுங்க எங்கே போகுது அது தெரியல.
Despite these challenges, Royapuram remains resilient, a constituency where community bonds are strong and voices are clear about what needs to change.
So that was a very comprehensive sort of bird's eye view. I mean, there are many issues in Royapuram and we can't cover all of them, but this is a good bird's eye view of what's happening there. As far as the politics goes, Serena, why don't you tell us about the historically, how has Royapuram voted?
So Royapuram was a stronghold of the AIADMK. D. Jayakumar, former fisheries minister and who was also the speaker of the Tamil Nadu Assembly, he has contested from Royapuram for 7 times and he has lost only twice.
Okay.
In fact, his
so this is his 8th time.
8th time. Okay. Yeah. In fact, his winning streak of 4 consecutive terms was ended in 2021 by DMK after its candidate R. Murthy defeated him by a margin of around 27,000 votes.
Right. So he's back in the fray this time. Who are the others in the fray?
So he'll be mainly facing DMK's Zubair Khan, who's a doctor by profession. And he is also the state secretary of the party's minority welfare wing.
Right.
And we have Babu Mailan of the NTK and KV Vijay Damo from the TBK in the fray.
Right. Again, it looks like a two-cornered contest between the ADMK and the DMK. And these are, at least Mr. Jayakumar is a heavyweight, but let's see what Dr. Zubair does in the area. So, before we talk about the relevant civic issues, let's go over to the field. Our reporter Aloysius has been on the field. He's covered the Royapuram constituency. Let's hear from you, Aloysius, on what you felt while you did the constituency watch.
We are here at the Royapuram Assembly constituency. which includes heritage landmarks such as Robinson Park in North Chennai. The campaign here focuses on 1.56 lakh electors across the ideological spectrum who project their own vision of change, as the dominant working class population has been facing a number of challenges. The candidates include D. Jayakumar of the ADMK, Subair Khan of the DMK, and Vijay Damu of the TVK. Ahead of elections, the questions that would recur in the coming days include housing for the poor, free house site patta for residents, traffic congestion, parking issues, and welfare measures for protection of livelihood of the working class. At MC Road, the commercial hub of Royapuram, work on the pedestrian plaza is underway. Residents demand better civic infrastructure to improve parking facilities and public transport connectivity. At residential neighborhoods of Royapuram, near the Chennai port, residents have demanded patta for house sites along the coast and redevelopment of old tenements.
Thank you, Aloysius, for giving us an overview of the main issues that concern people of Royapuram constituency. I think housing is one of the main concerns.
He brought up this patta issue frequently.
So most of them are asking for affordable housing for the poor, and they're also highlighting on the poor condition of houses built by the Tamil Nadu Urban Habitat Development Board. They say they lack maintenance and are badly in need of redevelopment.
Yeah, this is the case for all recent Housing Development Board properties, particularly in Kargil Nagar, which is also in the north.
NO,
it's in NO. So that is an important issue. But it's a really old locality, as we discussed. What are some of the issues that have been persisting? There was flooding at one point of time. How is that now?
The residents say things have improved a lot in the last few years, but still some areas flooding is still a problem in some areas.
Right.
And they want permanent measures as such to prevent flooding during the monsoons.
Right. Is there any other civic issue that's top of mind?
Yeah, one thing that is very typical to a North Chennai locality is overflowing sewage, and I think a number of residents have also pointed out to frequent sewage blogs.
Right.
So they also want the Metro Water to look into it as a permanent on a permanent basis.
Right. It's also a huge public health issue, isn't it? And one needs to address it with great attention. So let's go over now to one of the contestants in the fray this time in Royapuram, and it's none other than the AIADMK's D. Jayakumar. Let's hear from him about his hopes for the constituency.
நாங்கள் வந்து கஞ்சா இல்லாத அளவுக்கு கட்டுப்படுத்துகிறோம். ஆனால் இன்றைக்கு பள்ளியிலிருந்து அதேபோல் சாதாரண ஆளுநருந்து அதேபோல் செயின் திருட்டு, செயின் பறிப்பு இதெல்லாம் சட்ட ஒழுங்கு மோசமாகி போச்சு. அடிப்படை கட்டமைப்பு வசதிகள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா சாலைகள்லாம் குண்டும் குழியுமாக இருக்குது. எந்த சாலைகளும் பார்த்தா நீங்கள் பார்த்துருப்பீங்க, சாலைகள் குண்டு குழியுமாக இருக்கின்றது. கழிவு நீரும் குடிநீரும் ஒன்றாக கலந்துச்சு. அதே போன்ற சாதாரண மலைக்கு வந்து தண்ணி தேங்குகின்ற நிலைமை. ஒரு துரும்பை கூட கிள்ளி போடல இந்த ஆட்சியில். ஆனால் எங்கள் ஆட்சியில் வீடுகள் கட்டி கொடுத்தோம், குடிசை இல்லாத பகுதியாக்கணும், மின்சாரம் 24 மணி நேரம் கொடுத்தோம், மழை எவ்வளோ பெஞ்சாலும் தண்ணி நிற்காத பகுதியாக்கணும். பிரதானமாக வியாபார ஸ்தலமாக இருப்பது எம்பி சாலை. இந்த எம்சி சாலை நம்பி வியாபாரம் செய்கின்ற பெருங்குடி மக்கள், அதனை சார்ந்த தொழிலாளர்கள் என்று சொன்னால் ஏறக்குறைய 10,000 குடும்பங்கள். அந்த 10,000 குடும்பங்கள் இன்றைக்கு அவருடைய வாழ்வாதாரத்தை இழந்துவிட்ட நிலையில், அவருடைய வாழ்வாதாரம் முற்றிலுமாக சீர்குலைந்த நிலையில் ஒட்டுமொத்தமாக அவர்கள் உணர்ந்திருப்பது, நம்முடைய தொகுதிக்கு ஜெயக்குமார் அவர்கள் சட்டமன்ற உறுப்பினராக அமைச்சரான காலத்தில் வியாபாரம் செவித்தோங்கியது, எந்த பிரச்சனையும் இல்லை. ஆனால் ஸ்மார்ட் சிட்டி என்ற பெயரிலே அவர்களை கலந்து ஆலோசிக்காமல் முற்றிலுமாக வியாபாரத்தை படுகுழியிலே இன்றைக்கு தள்ளிவிட்ட நிலையில் அவருடைய எண்ணமெல்லாம் உடனடியாக தேர்தல் வந்தது நமக்கு விடிவு காலம்.
Thank you, Mr. Jayakumar. Ramya, did you know that Mr. Jayakumar belongs to the fishing community, which is the predominant segment of Royapuram constituency?
Yeah. I mean, that shows why he has been picked by his party repeatedly, and also shows why he's winning as many times as he has. But even as a fisherman, I think there are a number of issues that the fishing community has that must be addressed, including erosion.
Erosion is one.
Yeah.
And also the flats that are located along the coastal line, there are problems of corrosion as such.
Okay.
And one of the issues that they specifically told us is about redevelopment of these flats that are badly in need of maintenance.
Right. So we've discussed threadbare the politics and the civic issues of Royapuram. So maybe it's now time to go to the fun segment.
Sure, absolutely.
So it is time for our AI generated character Chennai Chinnathambi. Take it from here, Chinnathambi.
Hello, your Chinnathambi is back to give you a bird's eye view of the poll scene in Tamil Nadu. There was a little scheduling shuffle at the top. Deputy Chief Minister Udayanidhi Stalin had his meeting request in Perambur turned down today because AIADMK General Secretary Edappadi K. Palaniswamy had already planned his visit to the constituency. Remember how TVK Chief Vijay complained about his rallies being cancelled in the city? It looks like even the Deputy CM is no exception. In Edappadi, where Mr. Palaniswamy himself is contesting, things took a cinematic turn. The nomination of TVK candidate M. Arun Kumar, as well as his backup, was rejected. Here's where it gets interesting. Mr. Arun Kumar, who was at the Thaluk office, stepped out saying he'd return with additional documents. And then he vanished from the scene, with his phone switched off. TVK cadres raised the alarm, alleging Mr. Arun Kumar was abducted. But with no documents and no candidate returning in time, the nominations stood rejected. And before I go, here's a story that quietly unfolds every election. With our schools, the very places where futures are built, turning into polling booths overnight, teachers are worried. They say they're left to clean up the aftermath. Walls plastered with posters, classrooms littered, even blackboards damaged. Catch the full story on the Hindu's website. For April 9th, light to moderate rains likely in some areas. Maximum temperature to be around 36 to 37 degrees Celsius.
Nandri Chinnathambi, that was as usual fun, wasn't it, Serena?
Yeah, he is a truly Gen Z character.
And entertaining for us.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's a wrap for today. Remember, April 23rd is voting day in Tamil Nadu. Go out there and cast your votes. Meanwhile, on Chennai Poll Canvas, we'll still be here. We'll bring you a roundup of all the constituencies and make sure you get your dope right from us. Thank you.